All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday, June 12th. This is the Airport Advisory Board meeting. We do not have Commissioner Lance this afternoon. Alana said she's going to be a little late as well. So instead of rescheduling or pushing this one on to the next one, we talked, and I will still give an airport update, and I'll introduce one of our newer members as well. And then if we get if Alana or we do have a quorum towards the end of it, then we can go through and kind of approve some of the minutes from the previous meeting, and then give comments on any of the discussions we've had or any of the information we've had. And then we'll go into the I believe we've already scheduled the September meeting, but we can go into any other questions that anyone has. So with that, I'll just start with introducing Aaron. I talked with him earlier, so it's not too much of a surprise, but Aaron, do you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself to the group real quick?
Sure. I am Aaron Ethelson from the city of Springfield, the new city manager. And I've had the pleasure of working with most of you in the past, Kelly and Kara, and in an abstract way, Ted. And I've met Penny and, of course, Phil. So just happy to be on the committee. Good to see all of you that I've worked with before, and happy to work with those of you I haven't in the past. So thanks, Phil.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Aaron came over, I think it was last week, took him around, showed him city building, some of the pieces of the airport, and just reminded anyone, if you'd like to come over again, or if you have any folks that are asking about the airport, feel free to send them over, and we can certainly help them out, especially this time of year when we're getting ready for the air show. I know there's a lot of focus on the airport, so feel free to send anyone over. That was great having Aaron, and we're happy to have him on the advisory board. So with that, I'll switch over to our airport update. Okay, hopefully everyone can see my screen. I'm sure if you can't, you will probably let me know. But like I said earlier, the June meeting or the summer meeting, we're getting ready for the air show, so I'll touch on that towards the end. Go over the airport layout plan and where it stands today, where we're going to be in the next couple months, and then where we should finish out the year with that, and then going into 2026. And then just a recent airport grant that we received that we're currently working on for Taxiway Alpha. So just a quick update on the ALP. We did get some feedback from the FAA and MDOT. Currently, right now, the consultant is finalizing what they technically call the ALP drawing set. So it's a series of documents that they put together. There's some formal documents that the FAA reviews and MDOT reviews and looks at, and then they will give comments on. For us to have, we've sent them drafts or some concepts of currently what we have at the airport, and then what we could see happening over the next 20 years. There's a lot of information and data included with that, and they're finishing up those drawing sets. The FAA also has a piece to play in this as well. So that Part 77 or airspace review, that gets completed by the FAA. There's property maps that have to be distinguished, land use drawings. So if something's aeronautical versus non-aeronautical. And then there's other, again, more technical pieces like the terminal area plan. We don't necessarily have a terminal here, but it'll focus on where a lot of the buildings are in the airport. So any of the infrastructure that we really have that's related to hangars or Western, obviously, with the College of Aviation, that'll show on the terminal area plan. And then the approach spaces, every approach in and out of the airport that uses one of the 3 runways. So there's 6 different approaches into the runway. Those all get identified, and any obstructions that would be identified or need to be mitigated will be shown in that document as well. So there's a lot still to do from a technical standpoint. We're hoping to have some at least from our side, the consultant side, that completed by July, and then we'll see where the FAA comes in with their airspace review. I talked about some other pieces, again, that are outside of our hands. when you say airspace review, it might mean certain things to other people, and it might mean something else to a different group of people. It's really analysis of how objects that are around the airport are going to affect any of the, like I said, approaches into the airport. It's not just buildings, you might think of that, or towers. It could be trees, it could be buildings, but it could be really anything that's in the approach path. So it could be a parking lot if there's lights that are going to be used there. Could be signage. Could be any sort of if you're putting dirt or millings or a pile of earth somewhere, all of those will get examined. So we flew some lidar flights back in the fall. These are just very precise ways of measuring how tall things are. We've gotten that information back, and like I said earlier, the next really steps with the airspace review. You don't necessarily have to remove everything that's identified as a potential hazard. So a tree may be a potential hazard, or a street light might be a potential hazard. But there's certain requirements for each piece. So it's a complex analysis. That's why it takes a while to complete. It's everything from removing it to possibly putting a light on it. I'm sure everyone has seen a cell phone tower or some type of tall tower with a flashing strobe or a flashing light on it. And then you can also chart any obstructions as well. You could do some other things too. You could displace thresholds, move various devices such as PAPIs or any of your approach equipment that you would need to accommodate for that if you couldn't remove it. But it's a very in-depth analysis, and it's something that takes the FAA a little while to finish up. Again, they've had the information for a little while. We've reviewed it, and hopefully they said June 30th was the latest update we've got, but this is probably the third or fourth time that they've pushed it back on us. So we'll see. We're still in the wait and see mode, but at least we got them working on that. So the tentative timeline, we're hoping end of July for the ALP drawing set to get finalized by the consultant, and should hopefully have that airspace drawing in there. We would then submit it to the MDOT and FAA. This is really the formal or first submittal that we would have. So sometime between the third and fourth quarter of this year, hopefully we get that technical review completed by MDOT and passed along to the FAA. And then sometime next year, we can incorporate either some of the comments or at least discuss some of the comments they would have and move forward with getting the AOP actually finalized. So there's a lot of pieces still to happen between now and the end of this year. A lot of work that needs to be done, but at least we're getting closer to having a better idea of when we could see this ALP completed. So hopefully sometime next year. But we did talk with the state earlier this year in our Michigan airport planning meeting, and they know Battle Creek's in line. We've been in line for a little while, and they're hoping to help us out with that. So kind of jumped ahead. After MDOT and the FAA review it, they might issue some comments or have some responses. Once we get those responses, so hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, we'll go through it with our consultant, either make some revisions or have some comments or questions back to the FAA and MDOT. And then once we've finalized our responses, they can either accept them or also make some comments as well. Then they would finalize it and approve it, and then you'd really have your formal updated ALP that the airport could then use for the next 20 years or so, moving forward with planning the airport. Any questions from the group on the ALP update? I know this is something we talk about every quarter. It's been around we've been working on it for roughly the past 2 years. So hopefully now we're getting into the again, finalizing these technical sheets, getting some comments on them, and then hopefully turning those comments into the final approval. All right. So I mentioned a grant that the airport received. Was back really end of March, early April. It got approved $735,645. That is for the design to reconstruct Taxiway Alpha. So if you're familiar with the airport, Helmer Road is that eastern boundary of the airport. It's just off the picture here to the east. You've got Western Michigan right next to that, and then right next to Western Michigan, that's our east ramp. That taxiway that goes in front of that ramp, that's Taxiway Alpha. It's a fairly good size. It's a couple thousand feet, and what we're going to do, or what we're doing with this grant, is putting all the design and engineering work into reconstructing the taxiways. So it's currently in pretty, it's not in the best shape. We've had this on the list for getting repaired for some time now, so we're happy to get the design work done. You need to have it designed so that you can go ahead and use those designs to go ahead and construct it. So we're going to spend this $735,000. That's all the entitlements that are given to an airport our size. Every year you get a certain amount of entitlements. So we've kind of been able to build those up to meet the amount that was needed for the design. And we hope, or what we've been told so far, is that we can complete this design, and then sometime next year, maybe July or August, start with the, hopefully beginning of July after the air show, to actually reconstruct Taxiway Alpha, so actually begin the construction next year. And again, this grant's going to do a lot of the initial surveying and coring and boring that has already been done. So over the last couple of weeks, the consultant's been working with subcontractors and the airport staff to go out there and really look into the specifics of the taxiway. So they'll do everything from putting cameras into drainage lines to coring the runway, coring the taxiway, going into the grass areas and the safety areas, and to looking at the types of soils that they're working with over there. But we're very excited that they've already started. They've already started spending some of the grant funds, and we should see that work complete, probably early next year. They have a timeline, but again, they've just started the work, and it's going to take a good 6 to 9 months to complete that. So right now they're in the very initial stages, but at least they've started. We're very happy with that. So you might see some more activity on Alpha. It's not going to, there isn't anything that's going to affect Taxiway Alpha this year. It's not going to be under construction this year, but there could be some temporary closures just from surveyors and some crews being out there on Alpha. So we're very excited for that, because the taxiways needed some repairs, just like any other major road that gets used, that me and you travel on a day-to-day basis. This gets used really every day, especially by Western, but everybody else that use the primary runway. So it's the primary taxiway to the approach of runway 23 right. So if you want to use that runway full length, you have to access it through Taxiway Alpha. So we're very excited that they're getting that work completed. So any questions on the airport grant or Taxiway Alpha or any of the construction over there? All right. And then, of course, we've got the air show coming up here really in the next couple of weeks. Staff's already done a lot of work. There's a lot of paperwork that's involved with air shows through the FAA, through the state. So staff has done a great job getting all that submitted from a paperwork standpoint. It takes several weeks, actually probably a couple months, to get that all started and processed and signed off on, and then pushed on to the FAA, and then they review it and then approve it. And now we're really getting into the field work. So staff will start setting up the work some weekends coming up to the show, and then they'll obviously work during the show as well. The dates are July 2nd to the 6th. There is a tentative schedule on the website. I didn't put the website on here. It was really long, and it would have taken up a lot of the space here. And I can just tell you that you can go on the air show's website. The tentative website, or the tentative schedule, is up there. The dates that, if you're really interested in going and seeing the full shows, are going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So really the 4th, 5th, and 6th. If you want to see the Thunderbirds, the F-35 demo team, the F-18 demo team, and then the Army's parachute team, all those teams will be performing on that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday show. If you show up on Wednesday, just going to be the afternoon events. A lot of the balloon events will happen on there. And then on Thursday, you'll see some of the kind of non-aeronautical events, such as the 5K and 10K that happen on the airfield as well. and there'll still be a ton of civilian performances that we usually see, some nighttime performances that go along with the concerts and the carnival there as well. So should be a great show, just as good as last year, if not better. We're very excited that a lot of the military is coming back, especially the Thunderbirds. They've never come back-to-back years in Battle Creek, at least to my knowledge. They've come in years past, obviously, but usually take a year off. So we're very excited for that. So looking forward to that in the next couple weeks. And if you have any questions, or if folks have any questions, I would say concerning the air show, feel free to give the airport a call. We field a lot of calls. Penny does a great job this time of year, helping direct people on where to go and what to do. So are there any air show questions or any questions for us on the air show? All right. And that is really the short and sweet presentation for this quarter. Are there any questions overall? Anything about the airport? Anything you'd like to ask us or ask me before I see if we've got anybody else here?
I don't have any, Phil.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's see. I had the presentation up. So I don't see Alana, and again, we didn't have Commissioner Lance on this one either. What we'll probably do, Eric, is we can see if there's any public comment, but we'll probably defer just the formalities of the minutes and the agenda to the next piece. Again, I apologize to everyone. I know the summer ones, it's kind of quick. It's kind of, folks, some schools are out, folks are going on vacations and things like that. So I appreciate everybody that did show up today. Hopefully it was worth the 20 minutes or so here to get some information out to you. And if you do make it to the air show, feel free to stop by the office. We'll be there all week. And we can help you out and answer any questions you might have, but we're always happy to help. So I guess with that, Eric, do we have anybody in the waiting room for public comment?
We don't have anybody in the waiting room, Phil.
Okay. So again, sorry for the more informal airport advisory board, but I do appreciate everybody hopping on today. Hopefully, like I said, it wasn't hopefully it was worth coming, and I do appreciate everybody for showing up, and hopefully everybody gets to enjoy the rest of the summer in the air show, and we will see you in September. I know Penny's got that date sent out. I believe it's and you might already know, I believe the next time we meet is September. It might be 9th. Is that right, Penny? Let's see here.
That does look right, Phil.
Yeah, that's what I have as well. So we'll see everybody on September 9th. And if you have any questions before then, just let me know. But I appreciate everybody hopping on today. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Bye.
Bye.